Hello again guys, how you doing? Killing Floor 3 just had a stress test not too long ago and I was invited to play it. Where do I begin? Killing Floor 3 is going to be a dumpster fire. I'm just gonna preface with that. It is not looking good. Before I get into my opinions, a video that I feel like I'm most aligned with opinion-wise is Theta Zero's video. His video is really concise. It's 30 minutes long, but it feels like no minute is wasted. It kind of sucks because stuff that he said is like exactly what I was thinking, so it's gonna sound like I'm completely fucking copying him in some points, but I swear to God I'm not. We just had a very similar experience playing the game, I guess. Definitely check his video out though, it'll be in the description. Anyways, with that out of the way, the first thing on the chopping block is the multi-tool. Not only is it a consumable which makes no fucking sense, but it also replaces the door welder, one of my favorite aspects of Killing Floor 1 and 2. It sounds like such a minuscule change, but it's really not. It just kind of encapsulates how the people that are working on this game don't really seem to understand completely why Killing Floor works as a franchise. The multi-tool is an item that can open up cases that have armor in it, it can turn on turrets, it can close doors. It's a multi-tool, it's something that has multiple uses. It's a band-aid for a design flaw that they caused. You see, I know the exact reason why they took the door welder out. It's because now Skrakes and Flesh Pounds can knock down doors. They didn't want people to weld doors and then instantly have a Skrake or a Flesh Pound negate that. So in turn they made the multi-tool, a tool that negates that time that would have been spent welding the door, so then it's not as annoying having a Flesh Pound or Skrake knock it down. But they can't just have a tool that is just for closing doors. I mean, why would they do that? Have such a useless tool that only closes doors. It's almost like it wouldn't have worked. You know, in two other games, one of the most beloved tools and something that separated it from most other FPS games, why would they do something like that? I mean, what kind of dumbass would add a learning curve to a game? Am I right? Why would you add any aspect of strategizing when you can just turn on a turret and hide behind it like a pussy? And you know what? While we're at it, we'll add armor that you can just open up mid-round. In case you get a little bit too big for your britches and you don't have any armor left, you can just go to one of these cunts and completely fill yourself up. Because, you know, we wouldn't want to make little Timmy angry. We wouldn't want him to rage quit the game, because if he rage quits the game, he won't come back for microtransactions. Oh my god, think of the credits. Ooh, think of the money. Ooh, think of the dosh that we could be making from little Timmy. I mean, we can't challenge little Timmy's brain. He has a 3rd grade reading level. Do you think he's gonna know the concept of welding a door shut? He probably can't even spell learning curve. We have to make it easy for little Timmy to understand, guys. We need to stop being so angry at this game and understand the children that are going to be playing this game. And you know, while we're at it, we can add a battle pass so that little Timmy can steal Mother's credit card and spend it on the battle pass. And then she can wonder why there's $120 missing out of her checking account. I mean, every single fucking aspect of this game is just so safe. They have a revive function now. In a Killing Floor game, they have a revive function. Because, you know, you can't be dead. If you're dead, you're gonna have to watch somebody else play. We can't have Cheeto dust sucking, Subway Surfer watching, TikTok swiping little Jimmy over here, cousin of Timmy by the way, dead. We can't have him dead, then he'll log out of the game. And like I said before, he won't buy the battle pass, because he's dead. And oh my fucking god, why does it look like Diddy oiled up my screen? It looks like everything's smeared in Vaseline. It fucking sucks. This is why I hate Unreal Engine 5. It doesn't run good, it looks like fucking ass, but hey, we have to have a realistic game, guys. We have to have the best fucking graphics ever. We can't be behind? Behind? Why would we be behind in graphics? Why would we take an artistic liberty and instead just make it realistic and call that an artistic liberty? I get that Killing Floor 2 at the time was like really good graphics wise, and it was running on the newest Unreal Engine, but fuck do I hate Unreal Engine 5. It looks so bad, and I don't care what anybody says. It runs like ass, and I just don't see a point of using it besides saying that you used Unreal Engine 5 because it's one of the most technologically advanced engines out there. It's so anti-customer because most of the layman aren't going to have a PC that can run this shit. I have a pretty fucking good PC, and I still can hardly fucking run it. And I know that they are going to optimize it, but holy shit, I just wish it was in a different engine, and I know they can't change that now, but I have a very big vendetta against Unreal Engine 5. Sorry for getting heated. My main point is that the multi-tool just proves that the people that are working on Killing Floor 3 don't understand why Killing Floor works, and instead are playing it as safe as they can, you know, making it as appealing to new players as they can to sell more battle passes and more currency. Now, I'm not saying that that's for sure what they're doing, but that's how it comes off as, and in my opinion, that's more than likely why they're playing it so safe, but I implore you to draw your own conclusions when it comes to that, because I don't want you to take my word as gospel, but, you know, just saying, it's a little scummy. The other thing that really pisses me off, and something that also pissed me off 4 months ago in my last video, is the characters just fucking suck. The medic, the mechanic, or whatever the fuck that guy's called, and the firebug, they're all so fucking forgettable. I don't remember any of their names. Their voice lines are just fucking annoying. They somehow fucked up Mr. Foster. They made him like just British, and that's his entire personality, just being a British dude. Like, he uses slang, and that's just kind of his entire vernacular, just like an endless word salad of slang and swears. And that's the same thing with all the other characters. They just swear for the sake of swearing. It comes off as this very millennial-esque writing system where they just kinda are quirky, they, you know, say just random fucking shit just for the sake of saying it, you know, whereas Killing Floor 2, the characters had more personality. Like, Mr. Foster, for example, was this very arrogant, kind of non-caring dude, very full of himself, just, you know, a rich dude. He's just a rich, fucking pompous asshole. And I loved him for it. I loved his character. I love the fact that he's just a fucking dickhead. Mr. Foster is just a shell of his former self, and I get that he's a clone, and that I'm sure that affects his personality a bit, because the fact that he's been cloned so much, that probably has effects on the brain, probably changes your personality over time. But I don't really care about the semantics of being cloned. I just want Mr. Foster, and I like his personality. I don't really care about the story or the implications of being cloned. I just don't care. Just make the characters interesting, because right now they're really fucking annoying, really fucking boring, and I just think that you need to re-record all of the lines. Another issue I had, and Theta Zero had this issue too, that's why I brought his video up, because our insight on this issue lines up basically on the same level, which sucks for me, you know. Now I just seem like I'm copying him, but I'm gonna try to obfuscate that a bit. Readability is a really big issue in Killing Floor 3 because a lot of the Zeds look very similar to each other. Between the Zeds looking similar to each other and everything looking like it's smeared in Vaseline, it's very hard to tell what anything is really, and they don't really have any sound cues for when flesh pounds or scrakes come in. So it's just very confusing, and oftentimes flesh pounds or scrakes will just pop out of nowhere. And I think I know why they did it. It's because they want to have that oh shit moment when you see 3 flesh pounds barreling towards you, but instead of it being an oh shit moment, it's more of a wow, this game fucking sucks, and then you die. Like, it's just not fun. That's not a fun thing to experience. And the thing is it's not even an oh shit moment most of the time, because you know you can just be revived if they kill you, you know? Like, I kind of understand if it was like permadeath where you didn't get a revive mechanic, but you have a revive mechanic, so instead it's just you're insta down and now you're just like sitting there waiting for your teammate to revive you. It's really not fun. It's not fun at all. Anyways, I'm gonna stop complaining. You know, there's more issues, but I'll be here all day if I talk about all of them. I'd actually like to get into how Tripwire can fix the game, because God knows it needs fixing. Fix number 1. Remove the multi-tool. Fucking entirely. Remove the armor caches that the multi-tool can open, remove the turrets, remove the doors, bring back door welding. I know that that's a big thing to remove because they seem to want to lean more into that aspect of the game, but it just doesn't work well for Killing Floor, and I don't think anybody really likes it too much. I mean, noobs might like it because it's a little easier for them, but most veterans aren't gonna like it. And if it's a really big issue to like deal with big hordes, just buff weapons, because weapon feel in this game fucking sucks too. They need to make it so then the guns don't feel like they're fucking Nerf guns, because that's a big thing in Killing Floor. Guns feel good, and that's why it's fun to play. That's why it's fun to mow down Zeds, because the guns feel good. If you have guns that feel like shit, you're not going to want to play Killing Floor. And going back to the door welding thing, remove the aspect of flesh pounds knocking down walls. I think it's cool on paper, and honestly, it looks sick as shit. But if you're going to bring back door welding, I mean, you kind of need to remove the flesh pounds knocking down doors. I mean, you don't have to, but it's just going to be a little more annoying. Maybe you can apply a system where it like takes them a few hits for them to knock down the door, you know what I'm saying? So then you can kind of know where they're coming from instead of them just instantly fucking bursting through like the Kool-Aid Man. Fix number 2, re-record lines. Now I know this is a big ask because of the fact that, you know, some voice actors aren't going to want to come back and redo every fucking line that they did, but they're just really bad. I don't know what else to tell you. Maybe, you know, don't have shit writing. That's kind of your fault for writing like you're a millennial drinking a cup of coffee at the fucking coffee shop, laughing at your own jokes. I'm sure these guys laughed their fucking asses off writing this shit. Firebug literally just reads off instructions on how to heal herself, which is just the most eye-rolling shit to listen to. Fix number 3. Make it so then enemies don't prioritize shooting projectiles at you instead of actually walking up to you and attacking you. I know I didn't bring this up in my gripes, but it is a big issue. There's a moment where I was like running by and I had like stimmed myself, and then I look to my left and I just have like 3 bloats shooting at me, just like standing there shooting at me, and none of them hit me. So I was just kind of like healing while watching these guys. So I was able to rattle off a heal, and then I didn't have any ammo in my mag, so I had to reload too. So I was able to stim and reload while staring at these bloats, and they didn't move a muscle. They were just shooting projectiles at me. None of them hit, by the way. So I mean, like, I don't know what else to say. During the stress test, I didn't get hit once by a bloat like walking up to me or like exploding or anything, and I don't think I did in the beta either. Like, they didn't really walk up to me too much, which is kind of the entire point of a bloat. Like, they walk up to you and fucking explode. That's their entire shtick. And they also removed his machetes, so like, we just got a downgrade. We got a downgraded bloat, which is fix number 4. Give bloats back their machetes. The bloats machetes added so much interest to the bloats because they were able to cover their face, and you know, you'd have to really focus on aiming either like kind of above their machetes, because they have like a little hole above like where they cross their machetes that you can kind of hit their head in if you aim just right, or you have to like shoot their body and then make them explode, which is also dangerous because if somebody's standing near it or if you're close to them, you're gonna get hit by their acid, which just, it adds so much interest to the bloat, which I think is very interesting because they wanted to add tacticality to the crawlers, you know, crawling on the ceiling and the walls and shit, but then they take away the tacticality of the bloat. It's just, it's such a weird design philosophy to like take away strategic aspects and then add it to different characters. It's just odd to me. I don't understand. Fix number 5. Change the color of the crawlers. An issue with the crawlers is that they kind of blend into bodies when they're crawling on the ground because they have the same flesh color as the rest of the Zeds. I mean, that's why the crawlers are black in Killing Floor 2, because the developers didn't want the crawlers to get quote-unquote cheap shots when they're hiding in bodies. It makes them easily distinguishable, and there's an easy fix to this. Just change the color. Like, literally just go into the values and like turn the slider down to make them more gray. Not that fucking hard. Fix number 6. Make it so that Skrakes and Flesh Pounds announce themselves. That's it. No cliff notes. I mean, it's pretty standard. That's just good game design. I don't know why they didn't do that. Fix number 7. Update the trader UI. The trader UI is just, it's so clunky. For each weapon, there's 3 different options, and if you add another loadout, then there's more options that you get to look at. And I swear to God, if they add more weapons and I have to scroll down a long ass time to look at each of them, I'm going to crash the fuck out. What we have now is just so, it's just not very expandable unless you want to be scrolling forever to look through guns. Like, there's just not a lot of room to expand, which kind of makes me worried. It makes me feel like the guns in the future are all going to be DLC, and these are the base game guns that they're going to have, and that you'll only have to scroll if you have those DLCs, which that just worries me so much. If they do that, the game's dead in the water. Nobody's going to come back to this fucking game, because if you have a shitty base game and then you instantly start adding DLCs and cosmetics, you're done. Like, you've lost all goodwill in the community, and you're just, there's no coming back. Unless you like completely revamp the game, of course, which is pretty much impossible in this circumstance. But let's hope that they don't do that. Fix number 8, I think. I lost count. Now, this one really isn't a fix, it's just advice. Be transparent. Be extremely transparent when it comes to the development of this game. I don't mean to be that guy that brings up Payday 3 in this kind of situation, because, you know, it's beating a dead horse at this point.
But they weren't very vocal about the state of the game, and that caused a lot of distrust and disdain in the Payday community. And if they do the same thing here where they're not very vocal about the game, I think it's going to be a very similar situation. Anyways, that's it for the fixes that I want in Killing Floor 3. Obviously, there's a lot more things that need to be fixed, but just like the negatives that I brought up, we'd be here all day. The last thing I'd like to talk about is things that I want put into the game. That being maps, cosmetics, events, and weapons. Killing Floor 2 is a very alive game. It had a lot of events, maps, cosmetics, and weapons added to it, so I expect no less from Killing Floor 3. The first thing I want in Killing Floor 3 is the chicken suit. I feel like I don't really have to elaborate on this. The chicken suit is just iconic at this point, so we need it in Killing Floor 3 100%. I'd like to see the cyborg chicken suit come back from Killing Floor 1. I know it wasn't in Killing Floor 2, but the cyborg chicken suit is just cool as fuck. Second thing that needs to come back in Killing Floor 3 is events. Events add interest to the game, it keeps things fresh, and if they don't add that into Killing Floor 3, then I just feel like not a lot of people are going to come back to play it. It's a very big issue in a lot of games nowadays. There's not a lot to sink your teeth into, just a lot of content droughts. Siege, for example, had a very big content drought for a very long time, but that was, of course, because they were developing Siege X. The third thing we need in Killing Floor 3 is modern weapons. I know that there is plans to make realistic weapons, and there already is concepts made of them. I just think we really need good looking weapons, because the ones that we have now are kind of iffy, but they more than likely will add a lot of realistic guns in the future. The fourth thing that I want is more customization. There was a lot of customization that you could do with your character in Killing Floor 2, and in Killing Floor 3 it's kind of lacking that a bit. Like, here's my character in Killing Floor 2, it's pretty unique. I don't see a lot of people that wear this kind of shit, and that's the beautiful thing about Killing Floor 2. You see a lot of people with completely different cosmetic setups, and I think that's very interesting. It's very cool to be able to pour your own personality into your character, and also it's a very good way to differentiate people from each other, because that's something that's really bad in Killing Floor 3. You can't really tell who's who, and you have to like be like right up to them, basically fucking kissing them to see their name tag. And also customization means more money for Tripwire. I don't know why they made customization more lackluster, but I just think that they need to change that. Now, the fifth and final thing that they need to add to Killing Floor 3 is West London. If they don't add West London into Killing Floor 3, I'm going to throw a hissy fit. West London is so iconic, it just needs to come into Killing Floor 3. I feel like I don't even need to elaborate. It's just iconic as fuck. Anyways, that's going to be it for me today. Like I said before, check out Theta Zero's video. It'll be linked in the description. If you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe. You don't have to, but I'd really appreciate it. And anyways, have a good one.